Hello everybody, this is Fronto Bob and you're welcome to race number 40 of the 2020-21 NROL Skittles Cup Series season. This is the Federated Reports 400 at Richmond Raceway. It has been an action-packed season that has seen lots and lots of things just like the other two series, but it is now time for the final race, the last one of the regular season. This race will determine your regular season champion and the 10 drivers who will go on to compete for this year's championship. So here Richmond Raceway is a bit of a troubled racetrack. Well, I say troubled. Truck race though didn't really see much action, but the Cup or the Siemens Nash Series race did see lots of action. So what we're gonna see for the Cup Series, well, hopefully not too many crashes, but some action and some cool stuff going on. That should be a good one. So with all that in mind, let's give you the starting grid for this race. Starting the pole for this one is Tyler Reddick, long time second is Denny Hamlin, third is Christian Bell, fourth is Kevin Harvick, fifth is Fronto Bobbin, sixth is Douglas, seventh is Kyle Busch, eighth is William Byron, ninth is Cole Custer, 10th is Fraser, 11th is Kurt Busch, 12th is Tobias Buckner, 13th is Eric Garilla, 14th is Tim Tom, 15th is Ryan Blaney, 16th is Clint Boyer, 17th is Eric Jones, 18th is Matt Kenseth, 19th is Sturgeon, 20th is Doug, 21st is Donald, 22nd is Jimmy Johnson, 23rd is Chase Elliott, 24th is Marshall Shear, 25th is Matt Kojis, 26th is Ryan Priest, 27th is Cole Custer, 20th is Nia, 29th is Brad Keselowski, 30th is Alex Bowman, 31st is Max Benedetto, 32nd is Joe Logano, 33rd is Chris Buescher, 34th is Bruce Jr., 35th is Russell David, 36th is Rebecca, 37th is Eric Chase, 38th is Brandon Newman, 39th is Austin Dillon, 40th is Bob Walsh, 41st is 42nd is Mr. Lady. Alright, so Russell Derrick's sitting pretty far back in the field. Okay, well, let's see if he can overcome that. So as far as the playoff picture was looking like, check something real quick so that people pause just a sec, and we are good to go. Alright, just making sure things are ready. Alright, we're good to go. So, apologies if I'm a bit stuffy today, but then when am I not stuffy? These been recording. So the playoff picture, it's looking pretty interesting. Now, all things considered, Russell David is actually pretty safe in the playoffs for now. He's actually got a pretty good points gap, 35 points gap over Kurt Busch, who is his close competition. Well, not his close competition, but one of his close competition. However, his most close competition is Cole Custer. So, we'll see what happens. Anyways, here we go. Green flag is now in the air for the Federated Reports 400 Richmond Raceway, the final race of the regular season. Tyler Reddick goes beat Denny Hamlin and Christopher Bell trying to get around the low line. And that was going absolutely nuts in the first lap, but Tyler Reddick is starting to pull away. And Tyler Reddick, while he's not too far off from the cut line, I think he's a little bit too far from the cut line, so even if he wins today, he might not be able to make the playoffs. And then he races side by side with Christopher Bell. Alright, pretty good action to start this race. A good first couple of clean laps. And Denny Hamlin now racing his teammate in law, Christopher Bell, on the inside lane. And Denny Hamlin getting around Christopher Bell for second. Here's Douglas on the inside lane. And Christopher Bell going to the inside of Denny Hamlin, trying to pull a crossover. Trying to pull the old switcheroo. And Christopher Bell on the inside of Denny Hamlin now. But yeah, Tyler Reddick, despite the fact that he's leading here, and it's actually currently running 12th in points, unfortunately, as far as the points gap goes, he is just too far back. So really, the only one below the cut line that could make it is Kurt Busch, and that's if he finishes enough of a distance ahead of Cole Custer. Other than that, the playoff grid is actually pretty well set, as Cole Custer is actually currently running in 7th. However, this is not the best thing for Russell, as Russell David is in 9th in points, but he is only 13 points ahead of Cole Custer. So Russell Davies got some work to do. Let's see if he can make his way up to the pack. But even that's going to be pretty difficult here at Richmond. And Denny Hamlin getting around Christopher Bell again. And the battle for second continues between the two Gibbs-related cars. Meanwhile, Kevin Harvick looking behind. As I think I just heard some crashing. We might have our first crash of the day. Our first caution of the day. No caution. Oops. Oh, do apologize for that. But I do have some trouble on the track. Let's actually look and see what happened. I think Mr. Lighty, something happened to him, which just messed him all up completely. And okay, I don't know what's up with Mr. Lighty. He's just completely all over the place. Well, we'll leave Mr. Lighty to do his own thing as the battle for second. Like I said, it does continue between Denny Hamlin and Christopher Bell. A couple of drivers who have no chance of making the playoffs. Unfortunately, they're just too far back in points. Here's a couple of playoff contenders, though. You got Ford Bobbin running alongside Cole Custer. So Ford Bobbin, despite having a subpar season, he has got a pretty good gap above the cut line, so he's pretty safe. As I don't know what's up with Mr. Lighty, but he's all over the place and hitting the wall. Uh-oh. But yeah, Ford Bobbin, despite having a subpar season, he's got a pretty good shot making the playoffs. And Cole Custer, is currently 10th in the playoffs, that's going to get up to 9th. Unless something happens to him, and Russell David can come in with a good finish. Meanwhile, the battle for second continues between Denny Hamlin and Christopher Bell. Something though, Christopher Bell won the season opening round, but even shortly after that, he fell off like a rock and never really recovered. So it seems like that his win at Willow Springs was a bit of a one-hit wonder. I mean, of course, he won a second round at Sandown. The caution is out. But yeah, Christopher Bell won his second round win at Tasmania. I forget the track, but he hasn't really been able to recover since then. But anyways, getting back to what's happening in this race right now, we have our first caution of the day. And I think I already know who it involved, but we're going to go back in time and take a look anyways. But let's hope it didn't... Oh, balls. Okay. Well, okay, yeah, it involved some of the back markers. Looks like some of the more integral drivers made it through, but let's actually see who made it through and who didn't. I actually have no idea where... Oh, he's behind... Oh, man, okay. Oh, and Russell David is safe through. Alright, Russell David, he is a key contender for the playoffs, and he was back in last, but he has made it through safely. Alright. So let's actually see the what was going on. So it looks like Russell David was actually, man, he was actually running pretty poorly, all the way back in 40th in last. But it looks like now he will be able to make up a couple of spots. So let's actually see what happened here. Alright, so it looks like the crash was happening in front of him, starting out with Mr. Lighty, and Alex Bowman was getting a little bit all over the place, but Russell David able to make it through cleanly, just barely gets by Ryan Newman, but pretty good wreck avoidance skills for Russell David. You know, Russell David's been caught in a few wrecks. Good to see him avoid one for once. I mean, he did really early on in the race, but still. So it looks like, though, this one ultimately involved Mr. Lighty, which isn't really a surprise to me considering how slow he was running, but let's actually get a better look at what happened in this accident. I said a better look, not a worse look. Okay, how good we're gonna look are we gonna get? Well, okay, it looks like. Okay, well, we're gonna have to view this one from the helicopter cam, as there seems to be no good camera angle. So Mr. Lighty hits the outside wall, and then he gets into contact with Alex Bowman, who doesn't really have a shot to make the playoffs. Also makes contact with Oliver. And yes, Alex Bowman has nowhere to go, and he bangs into um, Alex Bowman, and Mr. Light and bank coaches get involved. Nia and bank coaches get involved as well, and Ryan Newman just barely makes it through. And Alex Bowman, who was running in 27th, has now been medicated back, or medicated? That made no sense. Mitigated back to last, or second to last, yeah, back to 41st, as Mr. Lighty, actually your last place running driver at the moment, running in, well, dead last. Alright, so now we're going to see any pit stops as we are... Oh no, we're going to see pit stops, okay. Well, we're only 13 laps into the race. Oh! Okay, well I said that we were seeing varying strategies. Kevin Harvick staying out. First staying out. Okay, it's people's choice. Some drivers pitting, some drivers not pitting. Alright, and Tim Tom getting spun out by Donald for some reason, and Ken's is getting into it with Chase Elliott as well. And... okay, well that was not so good. Actually, Kenseth... actually, because he didn't really have a shot anyway, so... But yeah, various drivers making various decisions. Some drivers are pitting, some drivers are not pitting. This is good for Russell David, however, who didn't pit. He's going to pick up a lot of spots here. Alright. And Mr. Lighty, ooh, a bit of a scary decision by Mr. Lighty, who isn't pitting. Oh dear. And neither is Alex Bowman. He's coming up here. And Russell David was running pretty far back in the pack. He has now managed to pick up some spots. Although, now he's got 14 laps worse tires than everybody else. Or than those who did pit. And actually, it was still a pretty good amount of drivers that did pit. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be on first tires and who's going to successfully, do things here. As here come the last drivers that did pit. Alright, so we're seeing varying strategy here. And yeah, it looks like we're not going to have too much carnage amongst the field itself, as the reason for the caution was simply Mr. Lady was a lap down car, so hey, if Mr. Lady didn't exist, that crash would have never happened. So I remember Tim Tom where somebody was on pit road. No, look, oh yeah, here's Tim Tom, who for some reason on pit road, he was up to 7th. He's falling all the way back down. Pretty... Well, anyways, so your top 10's gonna be a bit, well, yeah, whole top 10's gonna be a bit different, as now drivers moving up. You have Kevin Harvick, your leader, and here is Mr. Lighty, who is... What is up with Mr. Lighty? Wait, what's this pit box doing all the way over here? I've never seen that before. Huh. Wow. So... And somehow Mr. Light doesn't have to abide by... What in the world is going on? Alright, so Mr. Light speeding on pit road. And for some reason his pit box is all the way over here? Okay. Well, I've never seen that before. Wow. Anyways, we'll see if Mr. Light joins the field for the restart, though. Lights out, and... Yep, here goes Mr. Lighty. And no, Mr. Light goes back down pit road. Okay. Yeah, no idea what's going on with Mr. Lighty. Anyways... Varying strategies are happening amongst those who are still on the track, so let's now get this back underway. Alright, so pace car pulls off. Here we come. And green flag back in the air in Richmond. Kevin Harvick has been a bit of a hot streak recently. He won not too long ago at Dover. And then he won even not too long ago at Bowman Gray a couple races ago. And he's on first with always having no love Percy Serp, as Percy Serp wants that spot. And Percy Serp, he's actually pretty safe into the playoffs. but he wants to score a bit more. As Percival can still pick up an extra 5 bonus points by winning this race. And, wait. What the? Oh, we're under caution. Oh, okay. As we're under caution once again. Well, that came out of nowhere. But caution already back out at Richmond as the race just got restarted. Well, let's rewind time and find out what happened to bring out this caution. Looks like this one was a bit more major. It didn't even involve Mr. Light this time. Mr. Light was just up pit road, so looks like this one actually involved some of the drivers, you know, in the midfield. Oh no, it was Mr. Lighty. Oh no, don't tell me. Okay, no, it turns out. No, did he have anything to do with the crash? No, he didn't. Mr. Lighty, weirdly enough, didn't actually have anything to do with this accident. Because look here, he's just trying to get around the track, hits the wall, hits the outside wall. And then he tries to come on the pit road and just sends it right into the wall. So that is going to be the end of Miss Lighty's race, but more importantly, looks like it's involved with the bank coach. Just actually look back here and see what happened. It looks like I have no idea. Let's no. What happened? Come on. Space car just comes back onto pit road, and yeah, lights are out. Okay. Okay, so let's come out here. So what happened? Oh. So it was Miss Lay brought this caution. Okay. Huh. Oh, what's up with Alex Pullman, though? Alex Pullman going to weird directions. Oh, the field just trying to do things they just... Oh, what? Wow. Most Davies got hit. Actually lost a lot of spots there. Hits the wall. Oh, man. Man, Rose just can't catch a break, can he? Just cannot catch a break, ever. Like, he's still pretty safe in the... Well, for now he is. But he's really got to worry about Cole Custer and Kurt Busch. As it looks like now the leaders, who didn't pit that last time out, are pitting this time by. And everyone who didn't pit is going to cycle back out. And also everyone got some damage as well coming down here. Weird stuff going on. And by the way, Ryan Preece, I totally forgot to talk about, but Ryan Preece is actually in a dead heat with Mark Truex Jr. for the regular season championship. They are only 2 points apart, and Preece only has 2 points over Truex. So, whoever wins the regular season title is essentially going to be whoever finishes above the other guy. And right now, Ryan Preece is pretty far back in the field, so... And meanwhile, Mark Truex Jr. currently in 20th, which is pretty mediocre, but... Considering where Ryan Preece is at the moment, he's got a pretty good chance. Let's go back a bit more. So yeah, so strangely this whole thing happened all because of Mr. Lighty, who is now out of this race. Which is probably for the best. Oh, who's coming up here? Oh, it's Logano. Unbanked coaches. Okay, well, these two might be competitive. Russell David, man, for a second he had a bit of a strategy, but now the strategy is ruined. He's now back down to 37th. So Russell David back to where he was. Meanwhile, Cole Custer in the top 5. So, man, so Russell David looks like he might only come out of this race with just 1 point to start the playoffs. So he's gonna have a lot of work to do if he's gonna have any shot at winning the championship, and that's honestly that's a bit of a stretch because he's gonna have 1 point compared to the abundance of points that everyone or a lot of the other guys are gonna have at the start of the playoffs. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Well, let's see what happens for the rest of this race. Green flag back in the air in Richmond. And waiting up, Logano and Banco's actually have speed on the inside line here. And are trying to get their laps back. As Joey Logano pulls ahead. And yeah, Logano pulls ahead of Christopher Bell. And Bancoach is trying to do the same. So got a couple lap down cars, but they are actually fast. And won't really impact the race that much. And even if Joey Logano can get out ahead of Christopher Bell here, he can get his lap back if the he can start at tail the lead lap if the caution comes out. Anyway, so Christopher Bell doing a pretty decent job at getting out to this lead here. And Christopher Bell, who I just mentioned earlier, you know, got his first wins of the season. And, you know, didn't really do much. And today, though, trying to go for his third win of the season. Meanwhile, lap cars are actually separate Christopher Bell and Tyler Reddick. So a couple of rookies. And Tyler Reddick as well. Reddick currently 12th in the standings, but I don't really think he can get much higher. Yeah, I don't know, it might be too far back in the points. Tyler Reddick actually got 4 wins in the regular season, including the Daytona 500. But sadly, none of those 4 wins are really going to matter, as it would have given Tyler Reddick 20 points, well 20 extra points to start the playoffs, but since he's not going to even make the playoffs, none of those points are really going to matter. As Denny Hamlin scrapes the wall, and Matt Bennett running really slow for some reason. But Christopher Bell, your current leader in Richmond. As Tyler gets around Joe Logano. And Tyler Reddick now trying to hunt down Christopher Bell to get his 5th win of the season. It's honestly something, though, that this is the winningest driver of the regular season. And he doesn't perform where he's not going to make the playoffs simply because he wasn't good enough. But that's racing. And actually, rookies are currently running 1, 2, 3. It may not look like it at with the stalls, you know, with the lap cars here, but yeah, rookies running 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Christopher Bell leading with Tyler Reddick in 2nd, and Cole Custer running in 3rd. And Cole Custer, right now, he is 10th in the regular, or 10th. Oh my gosh, he's 10th in points right now. But unless Russell David can get up here, or Cole Custer has a bad day, Cole Custer going to move up to 9th. Now, Cole Custer, he also doesn't have a win, however, in the regular season, so he's going to have a 1 point advantage over Russell David. But, still. Meanwhile, back here, some battle going on between Denny Hamlin and William Byron. William Byron, who actually finished in 3rd in points last season, is unfortunately not having a very good following season. He's nowhere near the playoffs. So, sausages. And here's Point of Bobbin. Point of Bobbin also hasn't had a very good season. I mean, he's 4th in points. But for Point of Bobbin, you would think he would do a lot better, but 4th in points is all he's up to right now. And actually, he's got some competition. Well, some competition. He's actually 10 points in front of Eric Jones, but Eric Jones actually ahead of Point of Bobbin. And yeah, Eric Jones, I don't know what is up with me, but I've really been sleeping on Eric Jones. You know, I mean, Jones, he has 1 win, but it's still something, so. And the caution is out again. But yeah, I don't know what's up with me. But yeah, for some reason I've just been really sleeping on Aaron Jones. As he's going to make the playoffs. Well, ooh, pit stops. And varying strategies are happening once again here. At least I can see. But anyway, before that, let's see what happened to bring out this caution here. Definitely wasn't Mr. Lloyd. He's not on the racetrack anymore. Unless he's maybe mad to him back in the racetrack. But no, I think it actually involved. Oh, yeah, it did. Oh, man. And Russell David again. Man, he just... Okay, well, let's see what happened this time. Russell David once again having to use wreck avoidance skills. Let's see what happened. So now he's squeezed in between Rebecca and Alex Roman, and Russell David just can't get untagged from Rebecca and goes into the outside wall and scrapes it. And then he gets hit in the rear by Bubba Wallace, who just has nowhere to go. Wow. Man, this is the last race of the playoffs. I mean the last race of the playoffs. Last race of the regular season. And Russell David, he's in competition with Cole Custer. And it looks like he's going to get 2 bad finishes in a row. And it's such an important race, too. Well, anyways, let's see who pits and who doesn't pit. I mean, Russell David will have to pit to repair the damage again. Oh, that's strange. I thought I saw some drivers coming out, but absolutely nobody coming out pit road yet. Yep. Oh, here's Bubba Wallace, who got damaged. Also, I just had a realization. We got Joe Logano, or both Penske drivers, driving the PPG paint scheme. I had no idea. But yeah, it turns out Joe Logano and Brad Keselowski driving twin cars in this race. Something I had no idea. Oops. Yeah. Yeah, by the way, now I actually picked the cars to run the races, and somehow I managed to pick the PPG paint schemes for both the Penske drivers. Alright, well. I gotta... I wipe my face off because it's a bit hot where I'm recording right now. Well, I'll say where I'm recording. I'm recording in San Diego, but it's a bit of a hot day today. As when I'm recording this. Alright, well, here we go. So, Bank Coach and Logano going back to the inside lane. Oh, here goes Blaney. I mean, Guido. And Russell David back down to 35th. Man, oh man, though. I mean, where is Kurt Busch? Kurt Busch running at 21st at the moment, so it looks like the Russell David is really gonna have to worry about Kurt. Well, just hope that Kurt Busch has a subpar day, which he is. But he is definitely gonna lose a spot to Cole Custer and finish 10th in the playoff standings. So we'll see where things go from here. As the green flag is in the air once again. Oh, Chris Bell scrapes the wall, allowing all the lap cars to get by, as well as some 3 wide action for second. And Cole Custer in a squeeze. And lots of things going on here. And now 3 wide for the lead. As Aaron Jones and many other things going on here. Quite the battle for the lead. Aaron Jones out in front, or trying to get out in front and get ahead of Cole Custer. And Eric Jones, who was pretty safe into the playoffs, is trying to get even safer and even score another win, which would give him some more points. Meanwhile, lap down cars are actually not lap down cars anymore. They're now the last cars in the lead lap. So if we get a caution, they're going to be starting at the tail of the field. Anyway, Eric Jones getting out to the front. Meanwhile, free wide battle for a second now. As you got Kyle Busch filling off the other two rookies of Tyler Reddick and Cole Custer. You know, the only way actually that Russ David can finish or can hold his position of 9th in the playoffs is if Cole Custer crashes. Or it finishes very poorly. And you know, we still have quite a bit of this to go in this race, so anything can happen. As Eric Jones is out in first. And you know, yeah, if a caution comes out, these few cars back here are bank coaches. And these others, they're going to get back to the tail end. Although it's hard to imagine bank coaches being back. I mean, bank coaches just won the Siemens National Series race here yesterday. Meanwhile, here he is back in 39th. That being said, however, caution comes out, these three can get back to the tail end of the field. And here is Tyler Reddick in the battle with Kyle Busch. And Christopher Bell with the wall to get back here. And Ryan Blaney, who has actually been falling back in points for a little while now. You know, Blaney, he was, for the longest time, he was actually leading the point standings. But since then, he's had a run of bad results. Now, of course, he's still in the playoffs. He's pretty comfortable in the playoffs as well. But a good finish will definitely help him out. As bank coaches really have started to pull away. So yeah, if we get a caution, these three are going to be on the tail. And here is Kyle Busch, who weirdly enough doesn't even have a win or a good finish and is actually nowhere near the playoff picture. As Tyler Reddick, though, trying to do the crossover move on Kyle Busch. And the race for second is on. Yes. I've gone quite a bit without a caution. And Reddick getting around Kyle Busch, and Kyle Busch running wide. And Christopher Bell. Oh, it looked like he tried to get out to the inside of Kyle Busch, but doesn't really have the horsepower to do it at the moment. And now these two are weirdly enough battling for 40th. Between a couple cars that had some troubles, Joe Logano and Matt DiBenedetto. There's a lot in front of the leaders. Oh, Eric Jones slides up the racetrack a little bit. And Tyler Reddick getting Eric Jones' back bumper. You can see a battle for the lead here. Here we go. And Tyler Reddick going beneath Eric Jones. And Tyler Reddick still trying to clear him. Very good side-by-side battle. This for the lead. Eric Jones trying to hold him off on the high line, but Tyler Reddick keeping the fight to him on the low line. And looks like he will. Still hasn't cleared him. Reddick, though, will lead this lap. And yep, Eric Jones having to deal the spot here. And Eric Jones, Tyler Reddick to the lead in Richmond. And sadly, though, he's just too far back in points. Like, unless Kurt Busch and Cole Custer crash, there's no way Reddick makes the playoffs, unfortunately. Well, we're nearly about halfway through the race. Actually, this time we're going to be halfway through the race. As these two Penske drivers race each other for 40th. And this is actually the tail end of the field, you know, because there's no lap down cars here. Everyone is actually on the same lap. Well, everyone that's still on the racetrack is still on the late lap. All I would be interested to see, I mean, if a caution came out, you know, what the guys would be able to do if they actually started the tail end of the longest line. But I don't really see a caution happening for a while. I think we're definitely going to have a long green flag run. Maybe even this could continue all the way to checkered flag. As Eric Jones going back around Tyler Reddick. And Eric Jones actually needs to win more than Tyler Reddick does because Eric Jones is into the playoffs. And he's currently running in 5th, but he only has 1 win. If he can get another win, he can get more points. Because, well, think about Eric Jones. Yeah, he is in the playoffs. Like, he's safe. But if he wins, it will help. Because if he wins this race, that's going to be 5 extra points. Which will help him at least at the start of the playoffs, you know? I mean, it won't carry him through the whole entire playoffs, but it will at least help. Whereas Reddick, if he wins this race, nothing changes. I mean, he gets his 5th win of the season, which is pretty good, but he's not high enough in points to make it matter, you know? Like, if Reddick had been more consistent throughout the whole regular season, he would have for sure had been the club picture, and those 4 wins would have meant a lot. I mean, he might have even been, you know, somewhere closer, and maybe even regular season champion. Okay, maybe not the champion, but... Well, no, with the regular season champion, you have to be the highest driver in points, but it would have at least put him at the top of the points board to start playoffs. Anyway, so the regular season championship battle continues between Ryan Preece and Marcus Jr., and at the moment, it is Truex who has a humongous gap on Ryan Preece. So Truex looking like the driver to win the regular season championship. As Reddick gets back around Eric Jones gets back around Tyler Reddick, and here's his teammate Kyle Busch, also trying to get around Tyler Reddick. So Kyle Busch is trying to be a team player here. Nope, Reddick goes. Not very long as Reddick immediately goes around Eric Jones. Alright, Jones gets the ball. Okay. That's getting the ball. No, I think it does get the ball. They get very close, though. I mean, he scraped it. Well, we had a number of cautions to start this race, but we've gone quite a few laps now without cautions. How is Russell David doing? He's up to 33rd at the moment, which, I mean, it's better than last, but it's not going to award many points. And meanwhile, Cole Custer currently running in 5th. For Russell David, he's going to lose 1 more spot, and will finish 10th in the points, which will still have him in the playoffs, but only just. And he's definitely lucky that Kurt Busch isn't having a very good day. In fact, Kurt Busch is on the 29th. So Russell David will at least be safe on that front. But Russell David, his lucky thing, he's got a good enough of a points cushion above Kurt Busch to still make it in. And speaking of Kurt Busch, he is back in 28th, not having a very good day. Whereas Russell David, back in 33rd, it's not too far back from Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch only going to score an extra 5 points over Russell David, which is nowhere near enough to get him into the playoffs. So Russell David really just trying to just squeak his way in. I mean, it's still pay off, you know, anything to make the playoffs. But it's Russell coming really close. So even with the points we said, Russell David, he's gonna have a bit of work to do if he's gonna have a shot of anything to make it into, well, making a championship contention. So I'm certainly looking to see what Russell David will be able to do in the 10 races leading up to the championship. Well, anyways, long green flag run here. We haven't actually had much action in a while now. It's starting to wear out. So then we're going to see pit stops too far away from now. That's if we don't get a caution. Well, we're starting to get into limbo mode, as I like to call it, where drivers just circle the track and nothing happens. That's would be a pretty good use for the fun flag, but you know, since this is such an important race, then we really didn't want to have the fun flag, you know, here. And the plan, you know, never really was to have one, or have a fun flag here anyway, because, you know, first of all, this race is such an important one. Well, I mean, actually, yeah, that's the only reason. This race is just so important. Now, we want to have some artificial sausage coming and mess up this race. On that note, I wonder when's the next caution, or when we're going to see pit stops. Now, this was predicted a pretty long time ago. I do wonder, are they going to have enough tires to last the whole rest of the race? I can't say for sure, honestly. I really can't say with absolute certainty that these guys are going to make the whole race on these tires. Even if they do, it's going to be really close. Like, this race might honestly come down to who can make their tires last the longest. Well, I guess now we'll talk about your contenders. So let's take on Ryan Preece. So Preece, he's up to 18th, which isn't actually too bad. And he's actually slowly but surely running down his competition of Martin Truex Jr. But he's got to pick it up a little bit more, because if he doesn't, then Truex is going to be your regular season champion, which is going to run at 14. Still 5 positions ahead of Ryan Preece, but could be more. Meanwhile, Percy Serp currently running in 3rd. He's actually got a pretty good points cushion between you know, him and Truex and Freund Bobbin. So as long as he remains where he is, he's probably got a pretty good chance of finishing in third. Meanwhile, Freund Bobbin currently running in ninth. He's pretty much just gonna stay where he is. Although Eric Jones has a pretty good lead over him, so Eric Jones might pick up a spot in front of Bobbin. Brad Keselowski, who only has one win on the season, is actually currently in 7th in the points. He might lose a spot to Doug, but other than that, he's pretty safe. He only has one win though, so he's not going to have many points to start the playoffs. Then you have Duck, the Great Western engine, running at 27th, not having a very good day. But he's still having a better day with Russell David, so Doug pretty much is going to stay where he is as far as the points standings, in 8th. Although he only has one win, so there's actually pretty good. There's going to be a pretty good gap though between the drivers when the playoff starts. And yeah, I currently have Russell David, who is currently running in 41st and is pitting at the moment. Okay. Okay, this is going to be a sneak peek to pit stops. I think so. Yeah, some of the back markers are starting to pit. Does that mean we're going to see the leaders pit pretty soon? As Russell David actually... Russell David 2 laps down. You know, we were hoping that Russell David would be able to, you know, give himself like a safe sausage. Although now he is back in 41st. Kurt Busch still back in 29th. So that points cushion is going to get a little bit shrunken. But isn't really going to be detrimental, though, to Russell's chance of making the playoffs. That being said, however, his pit stop did come at a pretty bad time, as it turns out the leaders are not pitting. And Russell David at 2 laps down he's actually currently running in last place of all the current running cars. Oh dear. So 3 bad races in a row is leading Russell David to be on the absolute brink of making it in. I mean, he was already on the brink, but now he's really on the brink. Like, unless we see pit stops, man, it's gonna be really close. I think Russell David actually has like an entire race distance, almost entire race, like points gap over Kurt Busch. So Kurt Busch is only going to gain about 10 points over Russell David from this race. But man, Russell David really, really playing with luck. Like if Kurt Busch somehow gets all the way up here to do pit stops or something, Russell might just be screwed. Oh yeah, less than 20 laps to go, or less than 25 laps to go in the race. And as tires are getting worn out, it looks like Tyler Reddick might just be able to cruise to the win here at Richmond. Unless he has to pit with 5 laps to go or something. It's gonna be interesting. Can Tyler Reddick make it on these tires, or will he have to pit with a couple laps to go? I mean, we saw Russell David pit, and Bo Wallace came down to pit as well. And really, the only drivers pitting now are back markers in this race. So, I don't know. I think it's a little bit bizarre that we're seeing the backmarkers pitting and not the leaders. Well, we'll see with 20 laps to go. Do the front runners have enough tires left to finish the race? Or will they have to pit? Especially the live cars aren't too far ahead. In fact, we have a bit of a race here between Joe Logano and Matt Kenseth. Race for 38th, right in front of Tyler Reddick. Probably not something that Reddick wants to see. A battle for a lead happening, or a battle, well, not a battle for a lead, a battle for position happening right in front of me. When I'm supposed to be trying to win this race. I don't know what Tyler Reddick thinking right now. Oh, okay. Well, he's on the inside of Matt Kenseth. It's time to put Matt Kenseth lap down here. Oh, that will, however, put a bumper between him and Eric Jones and increase his chance of winning this race. So with 15 laps to go, Kenseth would have pitted, and yet he's now actually starting to, well, not really hold up. He's not really holding up the field, but he is definitely, causing these drivers to have to go in a particular race lane just to get around these guys. Here's Kyle Busch getting around Matt Kenseth. I don't think though that these leaders are going to pit. Like, unless the caution comes out, they're pretty much just a lock to stay on this racetrack until the race is over. The front row is continuing to get around Matt Kenseth. But yeah, I really don't see the leaders pitting. Like, unless the caution comes out, they're just out here to stay. Onto the checkered flag. So Tyler Reddick, who had the lead over Eric Jones, after, well, thingies. It's been a while though since Tyler Reddick has won a race. Unfortunately though, it's too late in the season to make it count, as he is just going to be one spot short of making the playoffs. If he had been more consistent in the regular season, he would have been for sure making the playoffs and would have had 25 extra points from his 5 wins. But unfortunately, you have to win, but you also have to have consistency. And Tyler Reddick, he had the wins, but he didn't have the consistency. So Tyler Reddick, about to come home with win number 5, but he's got 7 laps to go. Seven laps to go. 6 to go now. all Reddick has to do here. I don't think he has to pit. I think Reddick and all these front runners are going to stay out with 6 to go. No, last time it was 7 to go. This is 6 to go now. It is now 6 to go. Of course, drivers can't really pass now. Starts too worn out, so you can't really get a good enough run. I think even if a caution comes out, you know, these front runners can just stay out. Yeah, tires must be selling Tyler Reddick, but the same can be said about everyone behind him. So with 4 laps to go, at this point the field just winding down. At this point, Reddick, another driver's behind or ahead. Well, yeah, behind. You know what I mean. They don't have anything for Reddick, so at this point, they can just trundle around the track and finish in their respective positions. Not sure if Russell David pitted, but man, oh man. It is going to be very close. Well, with 2 laps to go, Tyler Reddick's got a pretty good gap. I don't think anyone behind him has anything for him. And here we go. White flag, 1 lap to go in Richmond. Tyler Reddick now just has to bring it home. And what is that? The caution has come out on the last lap. But it is over. And as the caution comes out on the last lap, it is Tyler Reddick who will get win number 5 at Richmond Raceway. Win numero 5 for Tyler Reddick. Comes in the last race of the regular season. But unfortunately for him, it is too little too late. As he is just too far back, and for some strange reason, I don't know what's going on now. The race is over. But anyways, for Tyler Reddick, it is a win. So, I don't know what's going on here. There's this big parade here. Well, I don't know what happened, but it seems like on the very last lap of the race there was a caution flag. I don't know what happened. Let's see what was the reason for the caution, though. And lights out. No, looks like it happened up here, actually. Oh, it happened here. Wow, on the second to last lap, Chris Buescher gets into him with Bubba Wallace. Wow. I don't know what Chris Buescher deserved to get that tag from Thingy. But Chris Buescher gets tagged by, or gets spun by Bubba Wallace on the second to last lap of the race. Now, for some reason, everyone gets held up here. I mean, the race is over. Oh, I see. So, probably Bob and everyone behind just got mixed up here. This is the last lap of the race, though. So, I don't know what's going on. West's really just getting slowed up here. I mean, the checkered flag, though, is out. The race is over. Let's see how many drivers actually made it by here. Actually, it looks like a big group actually made it past. It's our finish line. Yeah. What a weird time for a caution, though. Looks like everyone crossed their finish on their respective positions, though. Anyway, yeah, tiebreaker your winner. So, looks like this race didn't actually impact the things. Although, actually, well, with that in mind, it is Martrix Jr. who is your regular season champion. That is right, Martrix Jr., your 2020-21 NROL Skittles Cup Series regular season champion. And he beats out Ryan Preece by a couple positions. And Russell David, who will lose a spot to Cole Custer by quite a lot, actually. Russell David still able to hold on above Kurt Busch as he had enough of a points gap, and Russell David will be the last driver to make the playoffs. So nobody actually in and out of the playoffs, but this race did determine the regular season champion, which went to Martrix Jr. So, to the rest of the grid, Tyler Reddick, though your winner, 5-time winner in the season, but means nothing because he's not in the playoffs. Eric Jones comes on the second, Kyle Busch in third, Christian Bell fourth, Cole Custer fifth, Ryan Blaney sixth, Warren Byron seventh, Denny Hamlin eighth, Fernando Bob in ninth, Douglas 10th, Rick Buxton 11th, Jimmy Johnson 12th, Brad Keselowski 13th, Martin Stewart 14th, Richard 15th, Tim Bob 16th, Austin 17th, Oliver 18th, First up 19th, Ryan Preece 20th, Donald 21st, Eric Unroll 22nd, Ryan Newman 23rd, Clipboard 24th, Doug 25th, Kevin Ryan 26th, Kurt Busch 27th, Chase 28th, Grace Isher 29th, Nia 30th, Alex Boone 31st, Danny Jakes 32nd, Mommy 33rd, Chris Buescher 34th, Rebecca 35th, Ben Cokes 36th, Matt Bennett, I am not having a stroke. Matt Bennett 37th, Joe Gallen 38th, Matt Kenseth 39th, Bob Wallace 40th, Russell David 41st, and Micheletti in 42nd. Well, there you have it. That is the end of the regular season. Next time we begin the run to the championship. That is all from Richmond, and that's all for this video, as drivers for some strange reason is still driving around the track. I don't know why. The race is over. But whatever, that is all for this video. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in whatever I make next.